And good morning, it's Monday. We're going to talk about auxiliary benefits that are available to folks sometimes, and we'll tell you what they are right after this.
I want to be your disability rep.
And here we are, Monday again.
Monday already, yep.
Auxiliary benefits, what does that mean?
Well, when we work and we pay into the Social Security Disability Program, or Social Security in general, we have a benefit that's set aside for us. It's carved out for us. If in the event that we need it, we become disabled, what have you. But there's also the development of an auxiliary or family maximum, and that's money that gets contributed as well, that in the event you become disabled, or if you die, or other situations where you can access the program, there's extra money there for our loved ones in our family.
Well, that's helpful then, yeah.
It is. And where most people see this is going to be on child's benefits. So somebody who files for disability, they've got young kids in the home, they become disabled, you come back then and file a child or an auxiliary application, and your dependents can draw off of your work record, assuming that you've paid in enough to establish a benefit for them as well.
I see, okay.
And a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And you know, that auxiliary benefit for children, I've seen it be $50 on the low end. I've seen it be $850 on the high end.
Talking about
per month.
Per month, yeah.
And it's payable until they turn 19, so through their 18th year, or they graduate high school.
I see.
So, you know, occasionally you get somebody that turns 18 early in the year that they graduate. And
It'll be worth being held back for a year then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, I failed art.
Yeah, now to get like an $800 benefit as an auxiliary, you know, you would have paid in a lot of money to this program.
Yeah.
You know, people don't usually see that, but you know, it turns into enough money that you want to pursue it.
Is it based completely on the contribution amount, or is it based back on those quarters worked, or some combination thereof?
Yeah, the quarters works as trigger whether or not you have a benefit. So it is based on the amount that you actually pay in.
Okay.
Is the way that is set up. And you know, sometimes people get approved and they go and they file for a children's benefit and we find out they didn't pay in enough. You know, you see this a lot of times when folks are waitresses or waiters, for example. Most of their income comes by way of tip.
Right.
And it doesn't end up being reported and paid on. Or you'll see it with a lot of self-employed people. And we taled about this one time before.
Yeah, we did.
With you being self-employed. Sometimes folks that are self-employed are more concerned with making no money.
Yeah.
That's taxable per year, than they are paying into the system and developing a Social Security.
Yeah, that's why I actually believe I pay myself a salary that is the maximum salary that you get benefits for.
Right.
Yeah, in order to establish that track record.
Yeah. And a lot of people, you know, they just, especially when you see folks in the trades, they need that money to keep the business going. And unfortunately, they short themselves by way of Social Security.
Yeah, I can see that. How good is, because I mean, these are benefits I think people don't think about. But how good have you found, or do you see that maybe the Social Security Administration is about saying when somebody comes and applies for benefits, that they go, oh, hey, by the way, there's also this available?
Yeah, when you get your award letter, actually, where you've approved for disability, for example, it says there may be other benefits that you're available for.
Okay.
Another interesting thing that Social Security does in that line of thinking is if you have a 401k or a deferred comp or something that an employer has contributed to through the years, it shows on your work record. And Social Security will send you a notice and say, hey, you may have money here that you need to access.
Oh, wow.
Other auxiliary benefits, and we talked about this a little before we came on the air.
Sure.
If you are taking care of a child under the age of 16 and their father or mother dies, as that extra parent, you can draw a mother's or father's benefit. The kids are eligible for a dependent benefit, a survivor's benefits. but it all comes within that family maximum. So they'll pay the kids their benefit. If there's money left over, then it can pay to mother or father by way of mother or father's benefits. Not a set amount. It just depends on what that family maximum is as to how much everybody draws from.
Okay, well, that's really interesting then.
And then, of course, widows' benefits
Yes.
are the other thing. And people don't oftentimes recognize widows' benefits as being out there. But if we're over age 50 and disabled, we can access the widower or the widow. You can access that person's account and draw benefits. If you're over age 60 without a disability, you can access that account as well.
Okay.
And the fascinating thing there is you can actually access deceased people's accounts.
Yeah.
Ex-husbands or ex-wives.
Yeah.
But the really fascinating thing about this particular widow's benefits, for example, is that if you get remarried, you become under the protection of your new spouse's work record, and you can no longer access the old spouse's work record.
Unless you then get divorced again.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And so they have this interesting thing called widows waiting to wed. Say that 5 times fast.
Yes.
But essentially, these are folks that are between 50 and 60, and they are waiting until they turn 60 to remarry so they can continue to draw off the former as opposed to being protected by the current spouse.
Wow. Sounds like there can be a real labyrinth there to navigate sometimes.
Yeah, it is interesting to think that there are people who are out there engaged but are waiting to turn 60 to get married because of the implications at Social Security, but it does in fact happen.
Yeah, well, there's all kinds of thoughts we can have about that. But if you have questions, hey, Roy will take those questions. His number's on the screen, 417-812-6698. In the office today.
In the office all week, so give me a ring.
All right, and we'll be back, next week with more of this. Thanks for watching.
I want to be your disability rep.